Yeah, great night for Estevão and Chelsea on Saturday evening. Our chief correspondent, Carve Solocolas, joined Clinton. You're just telling us about the music on that.
Yeah, Chapel Rowan.
Yeah, big fan?
No, my daughter's a very big fan.
Oh, OK, fine. Yeah, not your scene.
I'm a bit old.
Yeah, you're a lot old. We'll get to you in just a moment, Carve, because you were there at the bridge on another game on Saturday evening. Clinton, they're difficult to quite know what to make of Chelsea, isn't it? But a very, very good victory on Saturday evening.
Yeah, it was a good week for Chelsea. I do think the manager, Maresca, was under a bit of pressure, definitely, with the squad of players he's got. And the discipline there, it was like, every time they play, they keep going down to 10 men. They managed to keep 11 on the pitch this time and managed to get a result. But really good performance, because I thought, listen, I know Liverpool are not in good rhythm at the moment, but many people thought going there, Liverpool would be the favourites. And they kept on going, Chelsea kept on going to the end. And I thought it was a great... And the injuries that the injuries they had at centre-back, they lost two... They had 3 key centre-backs out, and then they lost 2 on the day. So they were putting kind of players in different positions and still managed to get the result and cause Liverpool a lot of problems. So credit must go to the manager. Well,
that is the point, isn't it? That not just the centre-backs, and they are dropping like flies at the moment, but no Cole Palmer again, as well. He's without Liam Delap, who's a good focal point at the moment. So he is having to think on the spot a little bit. And the other thing that you wonder is, at what point will the Club World Cup affect them? And maybe these injuries are actually a reflection of the fact that they've had this weird pre-season where they were in and then out and then back in again.
Yeah, I agree with you. It could be because of that with the Club World Cup, because you're out and then you don't hardly have a pre-season and you get a short time off. Your body hasn't recovered. They've played a lot of football. It's the same with Man City. Man City are starting to pick up a few little injuries, and I think that's the same, but they've got a big enough squad. But Chelsea are getting hit. It's the centre-back. You don't have players that can go and fill in for the likes of Levi Colwell and now Chalobah and Fofana. But for some reason, they've turned it around and done well. And you know what? I'll have to credit the manager, because, what was it, about 2 weeks ago, I was looking at his decisions when he went to Old Trafford, went down to 10 men. He decided if you don't have the ball, you've got to keep on pace. And he took off Neto and put in another centre-half. So I was questioning some of his substitutions, but on the weekend he got his spot on, and fair play to him.
You know, a lot's been made about the Club World Cup, but if you actually look at the numbers, from the beginning of January to the beginning of this season, Chelsea played, I think, 37 games. That is including friendlies. Liverpool played 36 games in the same period. You keep talking about the Club World Cup. Chelsea went to the US. They had a great time in America. Better time than I did. Liverpool went to Hong Kong and Japan. So I get all the criticism of the Club World Cup. But
just to be
Chelsea
clear,
treated it as a pre-season. It was pre-season training for them.
Just to be clear, and to go back to what Clinton said there, it's not. I'm not criticising the tournament. Have done in the past, but I'm not criticising this, but it's the thing that they didn't have a block of time. Liverpool had a block off, Arsenal had a block off, whereas Chelsea had a very short gap. Then they played...
I think the players had 3 weeks off.
But that's the Club World Cup. Clinton would possibly, will know better. That might not be enough, Clinton.
Yeah,
you want 6 or 7, 8 weeks off.
Yeah, you do probably want your 6, 7 weeks off, and you've got to come. But I understand what you're saying. It's still the same amount of time, but it's that time off that you need. 3 weeks, I don't think is long enough.
But it's not like Chelsea have been flogging these players and getting them to play every 3 days. They manage the load of the players.
I agree
They've got a big squad.
I agree with you saying.
They rotate the players
because of the squad. I don't feel sorry for Chelsea, because they've spent a fortune and they've got enough players and they've spent loads of money, so you shouldn't feel sorry for them. So when they do pick up these injuries, and they decided as a football club they wanted to go and play in the Club World Cup, and they did go and win it, and they came away with it and made a lot of money on it, by the way.
87 million pounds. If you were a player, would you rather go and play in the Club World Cup and stay in the best hotels in New York, Philadelphia, Miami...
I want my holidays, Carver.
Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Or would you rather your club said to you, you've got to go to Hong Kong, you've got to go to Japan to play some pre-season friendlies, and you've got to spend a day doing commercial activities for our sponsors?
Which
one would you rather?
I'd like to do both. See, you put me on the spot. I'm going to say I'd like to have done both, to be fair. I would have liked to, but I still would want my break. I think these players now are playing far too much football, and that is why there's a lot of injuries at the moment. And I think that's why there's a lot of players picking up injuries. So I do think, but answer to your question, I would have loved to have done both, because America is a nice place to go.
Yeah, as Carve's expenses bell would attest to. Yeah, I think the point is really, Carve, that we might actually not know until maybe January, February, whether not having a bigger block off has actually been in effect for the players. As for the now, though, how significant was the last week? And internally, how much pressure do you think he was under?
Look, I think it was a massive week for Chelsea. If you go back 9 days, they lost at home to Brighton. They'd already lost to Manchester United as well. They'd been beaten to by Bayern Munich. I think a decision was made collectively at Chelsea because they knew that Jose Mourinho was coming to town in the Champions League, that they had to back Enzo Maresca publicly and also privately. He got that backing. I thought he handled everything to do with the Jose Mourinho return really, really well. Chelsea managed to beat Benfica, got the 3 points in the Champions League. Then he was focused on Liverpool, trying to beat Liverpool at home. And I have to say, the performance on Saturday was one of the best I've seen at Stamford Bridge for a very, very long time. For the first time, I saw a real connection between Maresca and the Chelsea supporters as well. You saw that from the scenes at the end of the game when he was celebrating with his players. He ended up getting a second yellow card and being sent off. But it was a massive win for Chelsea. And I know Moises Caicedo was the player of the match, but there were a lot of standout performances. The thing for Maresca now and Chelsea is they've got to build on this. They've got a few days off, the ones who are not on international duty, but then they've got important games coming up, I think, against Nottingham Forest, then Ajax, then Sunderland, then Wolves. This can't just be a one-off. They need to go on a really good run now. But I think Maresca has answered a lot of his critics over the last few days.
We will come to a couple of the players in just a moment, but tactically, Dave, how did they do it on Saturday?
Well, it was all in the planning, Rob, but things looking rosier on the pitch at the moment. But Chelsea's game plan against Liverpool was to target their attacks down the left-hand side to try and take advantage of a Liverpool defensive weakness on the right. So how did they do it? As you can see, Chelsea much more lopsided here. This is compared to their season averages. In the Premier League so far, Chelsea have been pretty much equal on both sides of their attacks down the left and right. Here, though, they decided to take some of the ball out the middle of the pitch and place it, the emphasis very much, on the left-hand side. So why was that the target? Marc Cucurella explained.
They play one style of game that Salah is always ready to attack, so we prepare that if we do good the process, maybe we'll have a lot of space in there. So I think we try to make this thing in our side, and today it works, and we can win the game in this way.
So Chelsea targeted Liverpool in two ways. First, they went long over Liverpool's press in the first half, aiming to isolate Alejandro Garnacho against Liverpool's right-back. In the second half, same again. This time it's Gravenberch who has shuffled over, but playing centre-back to try and stop Alejandro Garnacho there. And we've got Robert Sanchez's pass map as well from the second half of the game. You can see that every time he went long, he went towards Chelsea's left channel. It really was the combination between Cucurella and Garnacho that opened up Liverpool, essentially, particularly the attacking intent of the left-back on the hard work here, on and off the ball, really, of Alejandro Garnacho. The foul that's coming up here, by the way, leads to the Bradley yellow card, and the right-back is taken off at half-time. We've got a second example here to show you as well, where Garnacho and Cucurella combined to set up an opportunity for Pedro Neto, unfortunately not hitting the target from a Chelsea point of view. Both players, Cucurella and Garnacho, ranked high among the Chelsea players for carries into the final third, crosses and touches in the opposition box. Cucurella also showing his dynamism, getting up and down with the most sprints out of any Chelsea player against Liverpool. And of course, the Chelsea winning goal came from the left, with Cucurella at the heart of it. Estevão with the finish to send Stamford Bridge, and of course Enzo Maresca, wild.
Yeah, and he's got so many options, Clinton, up front. How does he get them all into the same team?
Yeah, it's difficult, but they're in a lot of competitions, and it's a big football club. We just told you about the injuries they've got at the moment. That is why they've got a big squad. So when everyone's fit and available, it is a headache, but it's a good headache to have. You'd rather have that as a manager, to have all these top players. And yeah, outstanding. Garnacho comes in and plays on the weekend. He was very good on that left-hand side, as Dave alluded to, combining with Cucurella. I thought he was outstanding and didn't hit the heights at Man United, but now he's gone to a new club. And it's only one game, but he did look a real threat. So it's a good problem. It's not a bad headache. If I was a manager and had all these players to pick from, I'd be over the moon, Rob.
Well, and the point is as well, it's different styles of players. So you've got that craft of Cole Palmer.
Yes,
someone would say there's more based on pace, like a Jamie Gittins, and even the two centre-forward options, João Pedro compared to Delap, are two very different
100%.
types of players. So different players for different games.
You're right. You're spot on with what you say. All these players are different. You even look at Neto. He's pacey. Garnacho, pace, can cause problems, can create stuff. And you look at Delap. Liam Delap wants to run in behind, and he wants to stretch defenders, and he wants to get into a battle with defenders, and he scores spectacular goals. João Pedro can drop into little pockets and cause problems. He gives defenders headaches because they don't know whether to come in. And once they come in with him, if you've got a number 9 that plays in behind like Delap, that's when you have the space in behind, because the defender wouldn't know to go to João Pedro, let him turn, or worry about Delap. So I think when he comes back, he'll be in that team, and it'll cause a lot of teams a lot of problems. But their attacking threat is brilliant. I never worry about Chelsea going forward in midfield. It was always defensively. That's where I thought they needed to buy a top-class centre-half and a goalkeeper. And Dave alluded to it about Sanchez. That's how he needs to play every game. Stop playing out from the back, because when you play out from the back, you cause Chelsea problems. Maybe your passing is better, go back to front and get Garnacho in, and then everyone will stop talking about you and say you're a good goalkeeper.
And we're going to do this with Man United as well. Just get everyone get it launched. Just everyone just whack it.
Well, you know
long.
what? The long throws are coming back in, so why not?
Fantastic. Just to the other point as well, Carve, is we might not have seen the best of this Chelsea team. Yeah, I think 6 of the 8 youngest starting 11s in the Premier League this season have been named by Chelsea.
Yeah, I think the Chelsea 11 that finished the game against Liverpool, the average age was just 22 years old. The average starting age in the Premier League for them so far this season has been 24. And looking at that, you can see what their strategy is in the transfer market. I know a lot of Chelsea fans want them to buy more experienced, more established players, but I think the Chelsea football leadership team think that the way to go when it comes to transfers is to sign young, up-and-coming players, also players who fit into their wage structure, because long gone are the days when Chelsea pay any players £300,000-400,000 a week. If you want to play for Chelsea, you are going to be well paid, but you have to accept quite a low base wage compared to what you can get at other clubs, but your wages will be heavily incentivised.
And 8-year contracts.
8-year, 9-year, 10-year contracts. Look, someone like Moises Caicedo, when he signed £115 million 2 years ago, I think he signed, what was it, an 8-year contract plus an option of another year. People were saying, this is madness. Why are you giving a player effectively a 9-year contract? Well, look at it now. If somebody like Real Madrid are interested in signing him, there's no way Chelsea are going to sell him, because he's got 6 plus a year left on his contract.
As well as the PSR incentives of padding it out all as well. Just very quickly, in a word, can Chelsea challenge for the title?
No, but they'll be in the top 4.
More than one word, thanks.
I had to.
We'll take a quick break. A good week for Chelsea, a bad one for the champions. Liverpool